An interesting fact about my Yu-Gi-Oh card collection is that it didn't happen due to a hobby. It actually happened almost out of necessity. Keeping up with metas, getting the best strategy after the best strategy, and also having access to be able to get the other strategies and never getting rid of them has accumulated to what I have now. As you guys can see, it is a lot and a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And in this video, I'm going to be going over my top 10 most expensive cards in 2020. Now, these cards may not hold a candle to the most expensive cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can check out the card above, or you can look at the description and the pinned post to find out what is the most expensive cards. I'm gonna be showing you what I have and what it's worth. My least expensive of my most expensive cards, I know it's weird, is Masked Hero Darklaw. Now, I not only own just one copy, I actually own 2 copies of Masked Hero Darklaw and its ultimate rare form. Masked Hero Darklaw doesn't necessarily have a story. Let me go ahead and focus that just so it's not all out of proportion. But Masked Hero Darklaw doesn't necessarily have a story behind it. I actually remember I was a very avid hero player way before Masked Hero Darklaw, and I used to use a deck called Hero Beat with Elemental Hero Alias Ultimate Rare. I guess that love pretty much carried over as I wanted to get maxed rarity elemental hero monsters and masked hero monsters alike, and that's where we got Masked Hero Darklaws. They sit at a whopping $220 each, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark those down as 220 times 2, which is $440 for 2 copies of this bad puppy. My next most expensive card, moving those Masked Hero Darklaws just to the corner right here, is going to be a Stardust Dragon. Not 1 copy, but 2 copies of Ghost Rare Stardust Dragon. Now, I hate to say it, but if these Stardust Dragons were Ghost First Edition, this would probably be at the top of the list of my most expensive cards. Ghost Rare Unlimited Stardust Dragons sit at about $290, and there's a bit of a story between both of these Stardust Dragons. For the people that don't know, one of my closest friends is TJ. He actually comes onto the channel and does quite a bit of videos. My boy TJ had a Stardust, I had a Ghost Rare Stardust, and when he actually decided to leave the game, he sold me all his cards. Ghost Rare Stardust was a part of his collection, and I told him I would never get rid of it. Years later, we still have it, and Ghost Rare Stardust is one of our treasured and most fond cards that we have together. I love Stardust Dragon, and that should debunk any synchro hate that you guys ever thought I had. After Stardust, we have another awesome card, one of my favorite cards of all time. You're gonna hear that a lot. I have a lot of favorite cards. But Judgement Dragon is seriously a card that is near and dear to my heart. It came up in the same era as the Stardust Dragon era. If people do remember, Teleport Dark Arm and Lightsworn were some of the best decks of that entire era, and Judgement Dragon was no slouch in price. Now, original secret Judgement Dragons at that point in time, I want to say were about $200, but this Judgement Dragon Ultimate Rare sits at about $350 a pop. Unfortunately, I only have 1, but I do have a really good story about Judgement Dragon. I had 2 copies of Judgement Dragon at one point in time, and they were sitting at about $50 each at that point in time, and I traded my Ultimate Judgement Dragon for a Battle Fader. At least I still have that Ultimate Rare Battle Fader. My next most expensive card, we've already seen the Darklaw's Judgement Dragon and Stardust Dragon. You'd be surprised, I actually have one of those OG cards in Rainbow Neos. Now, Rainbow Neos is a card that I picked up and didn't really think too much of it. I just threw it in my junk pile because, again, I wasn't so much of a collector as I am now back then. But now that it's kind of a competitive card, I'm kind of happy to have a Rainbow Neos that is First Ed and Ghost Rare and have it be competitive at the same time. Rainbow Neos Ghost First Ed goes for about $350 for near minties. This is a really spectacular card, and when I say competitive, it's decently good. One cool story about Rainbow Neos is that I do remember trying to make a competitive Rainbow Neos deck back in the day. This is a little bit before we found out that you could not use Elemental Hero Prisma to send Rainbow Dragon because it doesn't specify in its Japanese card text. So me and Rainbow Neos have a little bit of history, just not the greatest of history. Moving on, my next most expensive card is Power Tool Dragon. Now, some people say that I dislike synchros. I say you are dead wrong. I actually love synchros, and Power Tool Dragon is easily one of my favorite synchros. To be honest with you guys, 3 of the 5 signers are awesome and near to my heart. Now, I like Power Tool Dragon. I have a really close friend, actually got him into playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Just recently, Mishak. He completely loves Power Tool Dragon because it's part of the Morphtronic archetype, even though it doesn't have Morphtronic in its name. It allows you to reveal 3 equipped spell cards and add one of them from your deck to your hand. And if you reveal 3 of the same equipped spell card, then of course you get a free equip to your hand. My most memorable combos with Power Tool Dragon was a Gigavice deck that was built on a card named Gigaplant and Supervice, which would give Gigaplant its immediate effects. Power Tool Dragon would search out the Supervice, and Power Tool Dragon could also search out different dimension reincarnation, which will allow me to special summon plant monsters that I banish for the effects of cards like Spore. Now, this actually isn't the original Power Tool Dragon that I've had. I still have my original. It's only unfortunate that my sister's child destroyed one of them. So I had to bite the bullet and buy another Power Tool Dragon. Fortunately for me, I think it was only 50 bucks at the time. First ed Power Tool Dragons are gonna run you 400 a pop now. So I'm pretty excited that the card was destroyed then as opposed to now, because she gonna be coming out of $400 if it does happen again. Moving forward, another one of my most expensive cards is going to be Maxi. Now I have a very funny story about Maxi. This card is actually the reason why I even collect Ultimate Rare cards. There was a point in time where I did not like Ultimate Rares. I thought that they were flimsy, they didn't have a good look, they didn't look great together, they just were not great looking cards. One day I was at a local game shop and this dude was really trying hard to get rid of his Maxis, like ridiculously hard. He was selling them, if I remember correctly, for about 30 a pop when they were like 50s, 60s. He really wanted to get rid of these Maxis and no one was buying them. I hit up one of my friends who was actually an Ultimate Rare collector and told him, do you want to pick up these Maxis? He said yes, so I bought the Maxis for him. He flaked on me. So I was pretty upset to have bought an Ultimate Rare Maxis, but the longer that they sat in my binder, and then they started to look nice around Mystical Space Typhoon's Ultimate, then they started to look nice around Ghost Ogres and Effect Veiler's Ultimate. Then Ultimate Rare just started to look nice to me. Maxi came out of that trade binder and into my personal collection. Now I know you guys may be wondering what the price of this Maxi card is. I bought them for about $30 to $40 each, or maybe $50, I don't remember. It was like $60 or $70 for a set. Very cheap compared to what they are now. Maxis currently sit at about $400 each. The exact same amount as a Power Tool, so I feel kind of lucky buying cards that I shouldn't want to buy. Moving forward, we've gotten pretty lucky on some of these cards. The next card is Ancient Fairy Dragon. Now, I do have an unlimited run of Ancient Fairy Dragon and a Ghost First Ed run of Ancient Fairy Dragon. Easily one of my favorite synchro monsters because A, it is a signer, and B, it had underrated effects. Now, to be clear, if you look at the other signer cards at the time that they were released, they all have pretty good effects. Black Rose Dragon was a Dark Hole and a Heavy Storm. Stardust Dragon prevented destruction. Power Tool Dragon, while not great at the time, definitely had its niche and a time with the Gigavice deck. And of course, the Black Winged Dragon was just there. Like, it was just there. One signer card that players just did not give respect to was Ancient Fairy Dragon. And while it did take almost a decade for the card to be relevant, Ancient Fairy Dragon found itself on the forbidden list, something that the other signer cards just couldn't do. Now, unlimited prints of Ancient Fairy Dragon are gonna run you about $300, but looking for a Ghost First Ed, I saw it at $1,000. I think that that's a little absurd, so I found a pretty decent middle ground and put it at $500 for now. After that, we have our Cyber End Dragon. I actually am 1000% sure I have more than one copy of Ultimate First Cyber End Dragon. To be real with you, I have no idea how this card got into my collection. I remember collecting Cyber Dragon cards, and then I don't remember collecting Cyber Dragon. I mean, I was always on the hunt for Cyber Dragon Ultimate Rare, and seeing that my beat up Cyber Dragons are about $200 even for damaged versions, yeah, I've had this card for quite some time, which begs the question, why didn't I damage this card? Why didn't I just keep the Cyber Dragon's Ultimate in good condition and let this one get it? I don't know. I just don't understand. Regardless, in order for you to find a first ed English near mint Cyber Dragon, it's gonna run you $1,000 as well. So I actually seen German copies for about $300, but I assume since America is the country of gluttony, they're gonna be the people that want to buy the cards, and they're probably gonna want their cards in English. We also know that Euro cards are easier to pull, so I'm just gonna find a middle ground with this Cyber Dragon and put it at $500 as well. Now that we're done with the little guys, we're getting to my top 2 cards, my top 2 most expensive cards that I own. It's really exciting to announce that Shooting Star Dragon is one of my most expensive cards in my Yu-Gi-Oh set. Now, this is another card that I don't necessarily remember how I got a Ghost First Ed copy, but I do remember this card being extremely competitive in the Plant Synchro era. That's probably where I picked it up. There's not too much information I can provide about Shooting Star Dragon and my past with it, but I can tell you guys for about 7 years I was hell-bent on using a combo with Shooting Star Dragon inside of the Necros deck. The theory is that you summon Insector Exabeetle, equipping a Shooting Quasar Dragon. How you get the Shooting Quasar Dragon to your graveyard, you use cards like Necros Kaleidoscope to summon 2 Brios to your side of the field. You use both of the Brios to make your Exabeetle, just to catch you guys up, and then you send Shooting Quasar Dragon from your field to the graveyard, which would trigger its effect to summon Shooting Star Dragon to your side of the field. Now, it has taken me 6 years to see that combo come into fruition. You guys can see it in that live tool, but I felt pretty accomplished. For a Ghost First Ed copy of Shooting Star Dragon, it's going to run you anywhere between, I don't know, $800 to $1,000. So yeah, I actually put it on the lower end, seeing that people were putting it at a prissy $850, and said, yeah, I'll put it at $800. The last card I'm gonna show you guys is my most expensive card that I own. This card is the Heavens of the Heavens, and if there was a favorite particular card, this would be my favorite particular card. It is Harpy's Feather Duster. It's not Harpy's Feather Duster. This card came out in Stairway of the Destined Duel, and it is a $20 card for near mints. The story about this is that it is signed by Erica Schroeder, who actually was the voice actress to My Valentine, but my most expensive card are Black Rose Dragons. Now these Black Rose Dragons are from the Crimson Crisis set and also the Calendar set respectively, signed by Erica Schroeder. You can't really put a price tag on those particular cards, so I know you guys are probably bummed out saying that technically is not more expensive than your Shooting Star. So I have to follow it up with not only a Ghost Rare copy of Black Rose Dragon, I have to show you guys another copy of Black Rose Dragon Ghost First Edition. Now, Black Rose Dragon is my favorite synchro monster of all time. I love Black Rose Dragon. There was a point in time where I was gonna get a Black Rose tattoo on my chest. And while I still want to get a Yu-Gi-Oh tattoo, we might want to dial back on Black Rose Dragon for being the card of choice. I mean, if y'all pay for it, I'll get the entire Egyptian God card as a sleeve. Like, I mean, Obelisk, Slifer, and Ra, that'll be pretty dope. I'm dead serious, don't be looking at me like that. Now, unlimited copies of Black Rose Dragon only sit at a mere price of $300, but First Ed Black Rose Dragons have been on the rise, and it's for good reason. I think that $1,500 is a pretty decent price for a First Ed Black Rose Dragon, and the reason why is because it's almost as, if not just as iconic as Stardust Dragon. Akiza can be said as the best character in the 5D show, and that's really hard to take away from Yusei, Jack, and other characters alike. Well, that's it for my most expensive cards that I own in 2020. Hopefully you guys like this video up, and let me know down below which your most expensive cards in their price, And also let me know that you want to see a sequel, possibly another video of my collection, I don't know. Post down in the comment section exactly what you want to see. For you guys that want to know the price of these cards, it comes up to about $7,320 on this table. I know I'm pretty shocked, just like you are. Again, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more content, then check out my other videos. It's going to be fun to see you there. I hope you guys are having a great day like I am.